So I'm going to do a tutorial now on how to trim your daughter's hair. We're just going to do a one length trim. Before I wash it, I just wanted to show you what I would look for before you go to do a trim. Okay, so usually what the aim of this is to cut off any split ends. The reason we have to cut off split ends, even if you're growing your hair, is what happens is the hair at the end starts to split. So actually I can see a split end on here. You'll find the end of the hair, literally, you often get like a white bubble, and then from that, literally, it will like bend, and then you can split the hair, split it right up the hair. Now you can't fix split ends. The only thing you can do about split ends is to cut them off. And if you don't cut them off, your hair will just break. So it really is an important part of trying to grow your hair and just keeping your hair in good condition. So obviously the more often you trim it, the less you have to cut off. So I would always recommend doing it more often and taking off less. The longer you leave it, the chances are it's going to split more. Things that sort of cause splitting are like using heat, like brushing your hair vigorously. Like you should always either just use like a soft brush to brush it, or comb it through when it's wet. So section the hair and then comb the hair from the bottom like that, which I'll show you in just a sec when I've washed it. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to do a trim. So my daughter's already had a bit of a practice on here, so I'm just, as you can see, I just want this to be straight. So there's some graduation down the bottom here, some bits at the side, so I'm literally going to even it up. So I'm going to see where the shortest bit of hair is in the middle, and then I'm just going to straighten it across there. So I'm going to go and wash her hair now, and then I will show you how to comb it through and how to trim that straight. Okay, so you've just washed your daughter's hair, and 9 times out of 10, this is what it looks like. So this is how you, what you definitely don't do is put a brush in and go like that. How you comb out hair when you're trying to look after it is that you take a section like this, you clip it out the way, and then you start at the bottom. So you comb like this. If by doing it like that, you're taking out the knot so gradually that you shouldn't, you're not ripping the hair, and also you shouldn't be getting your daughter going, ah! Because you're literally combing out from the bottom. You see how easily that comes out? Right, okay, so as I say in the beginning of all of my hair cutting videos, what's really important is that you have your client's head tilted forward like that. And that is because of, especially if you're doing like a one length trim like this, because if you cut the hair like this, one length, then when your client, your daughter, your friend moves their head, you're going to immediately get graduation, because the hair at the top will lift up and then the hair underneath will be exposed. So if you do your haircut with your client's head forward, then wherever they move their head, you're always going to have a nice sharp line. So head in position, and then what we're going to do is we're going to section the hair from the crown to the top of the ears, out of the way like that, and then we'll do the same from the side like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do while the hair's wet is I'm just going to comb it down like that, and I'm just going to get an idea of where the shortest bit of hair is already, and I'm going to use that as a marker. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to, right, okay, so there's a shortest bit of hair there, and I want to just take the real end off of that. So I'm just going to put that in as a marker so I know where I'm coming to, because otherwise you could end up doing the whole haircut and then you realise you've not taken enough off for the haircut to be even. So we've got that in, and now we're going to take our sections. So every time you take a section, it's always best, a good section is probably about as wide as your comb. That way you are getting a nice clean section, and when you take each section down, you will be able to see your guideline, and that is the way to get a perfect haircut. Okay, so we're going to just comb the hair straight down, like so, and then I've put in that guide already, and then we're just going to go straight across, like that. Like that. Okay. So this is your guideline, so you really want to make sure this line is your most important line of your whole haircut, because you will use this to follow. Okay, perfect. And then we go again, section about 1 inch. And then we're just going to use our guideline now. So we come down, straight down. And here, because it's the shortest bit, we're literally just taking it off the wisps at the end. But you'll see where it was cut differently before by my daughter, there's more bits either side. Okay, another section. Shortest part, we literally just got wisps there coming off. So this is what you call a trim, but we're like evening out the shape as well. Perfect. Okay, and then we're just going to take, and again, just weeny little wisps, weeny. Okay, now what I'm going to do then is I'm going to comb all of the hair back, like this. So we'll first of all make sure that anything from the sides doesn't overlap with the back. So bring it all back like that and just cut off any little wispy bits. Okay, and then we go round to the side like this. And now we're going to section again about 1 inch wide like this. Clip it out of the way. And we're just going to follow that round. So we're literally just going to follow from the back there, the line we did. Round. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to bring that down. And we've got our guideline, so we're now just literally going over the guideline. And then what we'll do, like we did at the back, now we're going to bring everything from over from that side, or just over the parting here, just to make sure that there's no bits that overhang this side. This is, again, you'll hear me talk in my haircutting videos a lot about cross-checking, and that is basically what, it's just like cross-checking. It's like switching everything over to make sure that it all fits, because obviously hair moves. So if you flick it one way or you flick it the other way, you want to make sure that you've never got like straggly random bits of hair that haven't fitted in with your haircut. So that's why we cross-check. Okay, and then here, again, we do 1 inch above the ear. Okay, and then we're going to turn it to the front. Okay, Right, and then if our baseline was right, this should be pretty much the same. So we'll just check that. I'm just going to check that down. So I'm just going to comb this down like this. Just check across here. And then across the other side. Just comb it forward a sec and make sure. And there you go. That is how you do a trim.